Hey, Shalom Israel, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Brakadam, Yahweh Shemar, Alatel Hashem Yahushua, and Priest Officer 5000, Yatas Urban Lawyer. Holding it down real quick as Officer Hazahab is about to come and hold down the Hebrew class. As you know, every Friday from 7 to 9, Isupk, all across the globe, we hold down the Hebrew class. We have a schedule from Monday to Friday. Monday is history, Tuesday is the law, Wednesday is what is Wednesday, other one? Tuesday brotherhood tonight. Monday's history, Tuesday brotherhood, Wednesday is the law, Thursday is scripture breakdown, and Friday is the Lashawan Qadash or the Hebrew class. So we're gonna go real quick, right? There's something I want to address, and of course, Officer Hazahab is gonna take you where he's gonna take you with the class. So we're gonna attack real quick the Hebrew alphabet, right? We're going to talk about Paleo-Hebrew. Paleo-Hebrew, right? Which the Isupk been teaching, forever. The Isupk been teaching the Paleo-Hebrew. Paleo or ancient. This is what Paleo means. Ancient Hebrew. This is what Paleo means. And I want to address something real quick because there is some ignorance spreading in the Haitian community talking about that Paleo, right? Paleo means Paleo. I'm going to do a video on that, maybe a 5-10 minutes video, so I could summarize everything about that. So Paleo truly means speak to them, right? This is what Paleo means. Paleo means speak. Right? Parler means speak in Creole. Yo means them. Right? Speak or talk. That's what parler means in Creole. Right? So paleo in Creole, if you were to translate that in English, it will mean speak to them or talk to them, right? So the point that I want to make is that paleo has nothing to do with paleo. It has nothing to do. The same way in English, we have this word, M-E-N. M-E-N in English is men. But guess what? The same word exists in the Creole language, M-E-N, but it means hand. It means hand or here. As in, if I'm giving you something, I will say me, right? It means here or it means hand. So just because a word have the same letters in a different language doesn't mean that it means the exact same thing. As in this case, we have a word in English that we can find in the Creole vocabulary, but they don't mean the same thing. So people are looking at this word right here, right? Ignorant people are looking at this word, paleo, and they say, oh, paleo sounds like paleo in Creole, therefore paleo is paleo. This is like a child. This is child talk, right? A child will look at this in English, and if that child do not know Creole, that child is not going to be able to differentiate M-E-N, which is English. That child is not going to be able to differentiate M-E-N, which is English, with M-E-N, which is Creole. A child cannot make that difference because if a child knows English, when the child see M-E-N, the child know M-E-N means man, like their father. Their father is a man. That's what the child know. The child know M-E-N to mean men, right? That child know father, uncle, big brother are men. So if you show that child that same word in a different language, the child is not intelligent enough or does not have the knowledge to say, no, this word, even though it's the same in English, is actually a different word in Creole. This is how ridiculous people who look at paleo in Paleo Hebrew and tell you that paleo means paleo. It's like a child speaking, right? It's like a child speaking. Paleo means ancient, like in paleo anthropology. All right? Which is the study of ancient fossils. So we have to make sure when we are speaking to people or people who have been lost for years, we don't just give them false information to make them good. Now, a lot of Haitians feel good because they think that Creole are the one. They think that Creole is the Hebrew. They think Creole is the ancient Hebrew because an ignorant person wanted to make them feel good, wanted to pimp them out and say, oh, guess what? Creole is the ancient Hebrew. No, Creole is not the ancient Hebrew. And I'm going to show you why. All right? This is the reason why. But we're going to go further. We're going to go further. I'm going to go to the Creole alphabet real quick, if I may, out of one. And then the ancient Hebrew alphabet. All right? We're going to attack this real quick. So in the Creole, let's start with the ancient alphabet. If I may get something real quick, sir, so I can write this right there. You know? Like a paper or something. God, I don't want to leave the camera. So what I'm going to show y'all real quick, right? Because this is not doing it right. It's not erasing it properly. The pen is better. The ink in the pen is better. Right? Ink in that pen. Yeah, apparently that bit. The ink is going a little bit dry, so it's coming instead of being like pure liquid, it's coming in like stuff. This one. Good. All right. So what I'm gonna do, right? I'm gonna put the ancient Hebrew alphabet on the table with the Creole alphabet, and I'm gonna show you why Creole cannot be the Paleo Hebrew. I'm gonna show you. This is grown man talk here. This is not a child who look at the word MEN in English and look at that same word in a different language, which is Creole, and say, look, MEN in English, it exists in the Creole language, therefore, it's the same word. That is childlike. Let's look at the alphabet in the Paleo Hebrew. We got A, Ba, Ga, Da, Ha, Wa, Za, Ka, Ta, Ya, Ka, La, Ma, Na, I. So I get that ma, na, sa, I, Pa, Taza, Kwa, Ra, Sha, Ta. 22 letters. 22 letters in the ancient Hebrew, in the Paleo, not the Paleo, not the speak to them Hebrew, not the talk to them Hebrew, which is total ignorance. 22 letters exist in the actual Paleo Hebrew. Now, let's compare that to the Creole alphabet. Let's compare that real quick. The Creole alphabet is A, right? B, Sh, D, E, E, N, F, G, I, J, K, L, M, N, N, G, O, P, L, So like O. After O, we got O, U, on, un, P, R, S, T, V, V, W, Y, Z. All right. You will see some variation with the Creole language, right? The Creole alphabet because it is fairly new. Now, this is something automatically that we can recognize. In the Hebrew, we read from right to left. That's number one. We read from right to left. Number two, we have 22 letters in the ancient Hebrew, the Paleo Hebrew. No vowels, none whatsoever. No vowels in the Paleo Hebrew. In Creole, not only do we read from left to right, pardon me, we read the Creole from left to right, which is contrary to the Paleo Hebrew that we read from right to left. The Creole we read from left to right. And not only that, let's count how many letters we have in this Creole alphabet. Let's count the Hebrew first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22 letters in the Paleo Hebrew alphabet. Now let's look at the Creole. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. We have 30 letters. Now, the Creole alphabet is ruled by vowels. Vowels means everything in the Creole language. Why? Let me show you. If I take this word right here, this is a word in Creole. I'm using this letter here. I'm using the O without the accent. I'm using this one here. If I take this letter and I replace this, I just add this accent. This is a total different word in Creole. Why? The Creole language is governed by vowels, contrary to the ancient Hebrew, because there are no vowels in the ancient Hebrew whatsoever until our oppressors, the devil, because their mind, what is it I want? Their mind cannot comprehend the Paleo Hebrew. That's why they have to add this vowel system. What is it? With the devil. So what is it about them? They just not intelligent enough that they have to add the vowels. All right. Until the devil had to add the vowel system that exists, not in the ancient Hebrew, not in the Paleo Hebrew, but in the modern Hebrew, there are no vowels in the ancient Hebrew. Now let's look at this word. This word right here in Creole means kiss. Kiss, right? Now, if you take this word, you simply use this letter instead, the O with the accent. Now, this means side. A total different word. Why? Because the Creole language, vowels means everything in the Creole language. Let me give you another one. Let's take which word can we use right now? Let's look at le. Let's look at this. Le. You see this? This is a word in Creole. This means time. time, let, with this accent. Take this accent away. This word do not exist in Creole. Le. It does not exist in the Creole language. Meanwhile, if you add a simple accent on top of it, on top of this vowel right here, you have a Creole word. That shows you what? Vowels is important in the Creole language. So what is the point I wanted to make? Ancient Hebrew is not governed by vowels. Ancient Hebrew is not Creole. I'm Haitian. I would love for the Creole language, I don't want, to be the ancient Hebrew. I would love that. But we do not deal with emotions in the Isupk. We deal with reality. Just because someone comes and tells you, oh, Creole is the ancient Hebrew, is the Paleo Hebrew, and just because that makes you feel good, that makes you feel special, it doesn't mean that it's real. That is pimp talk. That is children talk. That is somebody that's making you feel good for their own agenda, because this is not a reality. Paleo Hebrew, which is a pictographic language, has nothing to do with the Creole language. Nothing whatsoever. And I'm Haitian. I speak Creole. I know Creole. So I'm not gonna just believe someone that says, guess what, Haitians? Paleo is paleo. It's paleo. That's dumb talk, man. So I get it. So, conclusion. Paleo Hebrew means ancient Hebrew. Paleo Hebrew does not mean paleo. It has nothing to do with that. We're going to do a video on TikTok so we could break it down further, but I'm going to pass the class down to Officer 5000, Hazaha, Ban Ban Yum Yum.
We got a question from Calvin L. Blaylock. He said, "Do you speak Jin?"
Jin?
Jin.
No, I do not speak Jin. I speak Creole, I speak French, I speak English, sabe un poquito español, and we're learning the Hebrew here in the Isupk.
What's Jin? D-J-I-N-N.
What is it?
D-J-I-N-N.
D-J-I-N-N. I've heard that before. I don't know where I've heard it. You want to look it up real quick?
Or Kelvin, put in the chat what Jin is.
Yeah, put what Jin is in the chat, Kelvin. Okay, there you go. I'm gonna do a better job at erasing that for you.
I think it's the pen. I think the pen is just got, they just got dried out. You know what I mean? No. All right, guys. Hebrew questions in the comment chat. Bubble Sharply, Hebrew questions in the chat. All right. We go to Tazadawan. Tazadawan, that's brought from Haiti, right?
Shalom, Tazadawan, Sakpaksit.
Tazadawan Ban Lawyer, I wish you do that class in Creole. That would be good for each Haitian. Good. And brothers out in Haiti, your brother brought out a strong point. So, you want to build more conversation around this thing, so more people can get exposed to the world they're trying to introduce them to. See what I'm saying? So big up the tribe of Levi, the Haitians. People are coming closer to their identity. You know what I mean? Over here in the States, you know what I mean? Everybody know they're Israelites. Right. You go to anybody, they've heard of it. Right. At least, you know what I mean? They don't believe they heard of it. And we try to tell people we're not chemists. They be like, oh, we know that already. We learned that 5 years ago.
Right.
You know what I mean? Some people reject it, but it's definitely got a taste of, this world, all right? So, you know what I mean? There was something that something he mentioned too. I wanted to go into it.
Can I mention?
Yeah, there was something.
Is it the vowels that Creole is governed by vowels?
No, it's not that. That. Oh man, what is it they said? He said something. All right, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Comes back to me, right?
I said a few points that I made. I said just because you see the same letters in a different language,
Right.
for example, men, M-E-N, that word exists in the Creole,
Right.
but that doesn't mean M-E-N in Creole came from M-E-N in English.
That was a strong point too, because now you have, of course, the native Indians, their language was birthed from Hebrew, right? But you know, the curse from the Lord was that we will be turned into many nations. So within the native Indians, the native Indians, the tribes grew to be their own nation in the states, and they were against each other. Yes, and they did the same thing that black people do to other black people now. You know what I mean? You have tribal wars within the native Indians. You know what I mean? No different than any other place, all right? I want this TikTok to stay with me. TikTok don't want to work.
Oh, he didn't say do you speak Jen. He said do you speak of Jen. And then Black Rose run light asks no Creole, Black Goes. What do you mean no Creole? What do you mean by that? Qui sont les people là? You say no Creole. What do you mean, Black Goes?
I want questions in the chat too, all right?
I
want people to put the questions in the chat.
Si nous avons des questions, posez des questions. If y'all have questions, ask the questions. Put your questions in the chat. Mettez questions dans le chat.
TikTok are the worst live ever. You go live for 5 minutes and start freezing. You know what I mean? Okay. So we got the word ancient, right? Ancient in Hebrew is Zakwan, right? Zakwan. Zakwan also, right? Zakwan also means beard. This is how you say your beard in Hebrew. Okay, beard. This thing on a man's face right here. This is called the Zakwan, right?
Right.
Right. That word means ancient. Why? Because older men have beards. Right. Men who are men have beards. Right. You know, if you want to know a real ancient man, an ancient man got gray hairs on his beard. It's an indicator to say, yo, this man right here is old or ancient. All right. And that is the meaning of paleo. All right. I believe paleo is some Greek. Was it Greek or Rome? Greek,
Latin.
If you can get the Greek or Latin word for paleo. Also, we're waiting for your questions online. We're bringing the Hebrew questions from the week. Right, we have a nation full of brothers who find out they're Israelites. You know, brothers of all ages and ranks, and we should have a care to our language. You know what I mean? You know, the scriptures say whatever is written in Hebrew and translated to another language does not have more force. Does not have the same force. Does not have the same power. All right. So with a care to the Hebrew, right, brothers should be bringing that Hebrew. Whatever you want to know about Hebrew, a phrase you want to say, something that you want to say every day, a phrase that you consistently say in English. You want to put that into Hebrew. You gotta bring these phrases. Yes, say something.
If I may. Black Gold Sunlight. So classe ça, il a fait en anglais, mais pas de problème. M'a fait classe là en Creole. Okay, the brother said it would be better if we could do the class in Creole. I will teach this class in Creole. M'a enseigné classe ça en Creole, mais jodi an il a fait en anglais. OK, et pour qu'à contacter tout frère. Contactez-moi, par contre, si vous contact moi, if we touch
I had it written down too. I didn't bring it up either. I got the other camera, but it's not. It's the frames are not done.
So oui, black girl, so n'a enseigné classe ça en créole frère. So contactez-moi sur téléphone ça 347 941 45 41. OK, but je dis officier Hazahab, il a enseigné classe là en anglais. OK, mais n'a fait en créole. All right? Shalom frère. M'a mettez téléphone dans sous chat là.
Okay. So what I did was just now I put the word of how we say Hebrew. In Hebrew is Ibaria. Ibaria. Ibaria is how you say Hebrew. The word Ibaria itself is from the word Ibar, right? It's like everything in Hebrew, every word in Hebrew is based off of a 2 or 3 character root word. So Ibar is a root word. Its characters are 1, 2, 3. Ibar. All right. Very same as Torah. Right. Very same as Zaquan. Zaquan is a root word. Zakwana. 1, 2, 3. That's how you know the root word, right? The root word is always 2 or 3 letters. If you see a Hebrew word that is more than 3 letters, that word is compounded with a tense in the middle, or a tense at the back of it, or a tense at the front of it. All right? But every single Hebrew root word is 2 or 3 letters, and the root words are crucial to your learning because you got to crawl before you can walk. All right. The water shop. How do I say give me a drink in Hebrew? How do you say give in Hebrew? You, Shabbat, you. Look at me. How do you say give in Hebrew? No, but that's very good. What is awa? Very good. Give me my hand. Good. That's a good word. Right. Now we got how old are you? 7. There you go. Okay, we got the 7-year-old in the class. You know what I mean? Spit Hebrew words. Where's everybody online? Salaki, big up to DK who asked something. Salaki, if I may. How do you say plead in Hebrew? Do you want to say plead or do you want to say please? Are you saying plead or please? All right. This is the new camera, right? This is the same camera we're using all the time. Take off the headquarters YouTube. Lagging. Not the headquarters. Yeah, the headquarters. We're supposed to be on one stream. We're supposed to keep the online classes, yeah, and then take off the headquarters one, right? All right. Okay. Okay. So Shabbat said awa. 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 Right? And awa means want. Right? Awa, want. Okay? Good. I want to say, I want a drink. Do you know how to say drink? How do you say drink? Yeah, I know why. How you say that why? Wow. Okay. This is Shabbat. You know what I mean? Young man of 5,000. Okay. Spell it.
Okay.
The Hebrew word first. Shaqwa. Spell it. Uh-huh. 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 No, there's no you. No you in Hebrew. Qua. This is the qua. This is the qua. Hey, good. Huh? H. Very good. What does this shakwa mean again? Drink. Spell drink in English. Good. D. R. Drink. All right. Good. N. K. Very good, young man. Very good. Very good. I'm big up in every state. Big up all the young brothers, the kids. You see what I'm saying? You 5 years old, you 4, you 12, you 13, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 years old. Big up to you, brothers. Right? Big up to all of you, brothers. Right? Make sure you absorb these lessons that you're learning in this school here. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Your generation got a better chance at gripping the Hebrew, grasping onto the thing. You see what I'm saying? This language for the, they say it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks, yes, though. And we don't know. Good. You're gonna force it on the brother's throat. You gotta have Friday class and Saturday service. You know what I mean? And then and then he got 5 more days to forget everything. You know what I mean? The younger brothers, your mind is like a sponge. So the Lord gave you the opportunity to grasp the Hebrew. Now, if you're not a child, that does not mean that you quit. That does not mean that you quit. Right? Definitely find a way to adapt. If you move from your English speaking country and you move to a Spanish country, you will be speaking Spanish. I don't care how you think Spanish is hard and Spanish is difficult, and you never really had a chance to go to your Spanish cousin. You will be learning Spanish when you go to the Spanish countries, Spanish speaking countries, all right? But I want to say I want a drink. I want a drink. I want to say I want a drink in Hebrew, young man. Several times. I want a drink. How do you say want? I want. We don't say a in Hebrew. That's the clue. That's the trick. Yeah, I want a drink. But in Hebrew, you don't say a drink. A in English means one. Right, good. So, but a in English means one. In Hebrew, we don't need to say one. Right? When you want more than one drink, you want 2 drinks. You don't say, I want 2 drinks. Because that A meant 1. Right? So when I want 2 drinks, I'll say, if I want 1 drink, I say, I want a drink. But if I want 2 drinks, I say, I want 2 drinks. I don't say A. That A was replaced with 2. Because A was a counting. It's a way of counting in English. All right? You understand? Good. So how do I say I want a drink in Hebrew? Go ahead. Awa, shakwa. Good. And notice he said first, right? Is how you say I. Is how you say I. All right? Good. Okay? I want a picture of this before I delete it. Right? Brother wants to know how do we say plead? Right? And I want to know what he means by plead. Okay? Because when I know when someone's pleading for something, they're merely asking something. All right? So when you plead to someone, you're just like you're begging them. Right? Go ahead. Would be shapat, sir? Shapat. Shapat. Is that judge?
Yeah, I think it's used in Joel chapter 3, where it says, I will plead with them, plead with the other nation, with the most of the nation.
Right, but when the Lord is saying he's pleading with them, he's not begging the nations nothing. You see what I'm saying? But what the Lord is saying is he's judging between them. That pleading is, he's judging. Right? I know shapat means judge. You know what I mean? To decide, judge. You know what I mean? Are you familiar with this brother here? You gotta talk with him?
Nah.
Okay. I don't want to say anything different than what you may have told him. Right?
I'll just bring that.
Okay, come on. Okay.
So DK, what do you mean you're pleading with someone? Are you pleading with them, asking them, or are you pleading with them to correct them? Because there will be context in the word pleading, like we just mentioned in Joel, the third chapter, like Hazahab just said, that word plead in Joel, the third chapter, which is Shabbat, it means that the Most High is going to judge the nations. So you say, meaning I'm pleading with someone, give us more details so Officer Hazahab can answer you correctly.
Okay, so I'm looking in the the interlinear, right? The Tanakh and the concordance, and you got different ways, different intentions of the word plead, right? You got one where a man is pleading to another man, where he is wrestling with him in conversation, right? And a man who doesn't want to hear, and that's probably Yester's thing with that one over there, right? The Lord is trying to tell them, these heathens, like, chill on my people. I'm gonna have to do some damage to y'all. And the heathens don't want to listen. And that's a good thing to understand too with Trump. You know what I mean? You wanna get that scripture?
Joel 3?
Yeah.
He answered, he said to correct someone.
To correct someone. And when you're correcting them, they are not listening. So then you're pleading with them. That is more insightful to what we need, right? So if it's that one, we'll go to Job, and we'll get Joel, right? And we'll get that one, all right? Oh, this is a different one in Joel. This one is Shabbat, but this one is judge. This one is judge. It's not exactly the one. The one I want is one in 7378, right? I'm gonna share this on the screen so if I can see what I'm talking about, right? Right. So, right. So we have this word that is common to the word plead. This word is used for the most times for plead, right? This is when you see a King James usage word of the most amount of times, that's what the word is. The other ones are contextual, contextual, alternative meanings. You know what I mean? But the definition here is to grapple, right? To grapple, to wrangle, it means to grapple, right? To defend in a conversation, right? You're pleading with someone. So you're telling him, we go on the street every day and we tell brothers, what do we tell brothers yesterday? That our people need to stop loving the oppressor. And we pleading with them, and they're like, no, I don't understand. He bleed red, and just like how you bleed red. And we're like, yeah, we bleed red, but there's a different soul in us. There's a different spirit in us than them. And they're like, no, I don't want to hear that, man. We gotta look at black people kill black people every day. And we're like, we're not talking about that because we know who's in charge of that. There's a man who leads us to fight each other. There's a man who has the bread and throws it between us and makes us fight over the bread. And you're pleading with the public as an Israelite priest. You're pleading with the public to understand what we're saying. So this word plead right here, right, is rayab, right? Rayab, right? It has this word, other word, sa rawab, but you don't listen to this, right? Because of course the Strong's is not perfect. So what I want to do from here, I want to do what Yesterday just did. All right, I want to go to the verses, right, where this word plead comes up as, all right, and I want it where it says plead also, right? Okay, so I want to go to Judges 6:31. If you want to go to Judges 6:31, Judges 6:32. We're going to go to Judges 6:31, right? And this is what I mean by the key thing of learning on the Sabbath service. If you go to the Sabbath service and you come across your section is to read the book of Judges, right? In chapter 6, you start coming up with this word right here in verse 31, and then the word comes up again in verse 32. You learn the word. You get to by the time you guys get to Judges chapter 8, 2 weeks later, you've seen the word and you are able to recognize it. Even on the English is something different. You're able to see that Hebrew word and you're able to recognize what it means. It comes up again in chapter 11 and chapter 21. All right, good. So let's get Can we get you got to get this up?
Judges 6 and 31.
Bubble shop. Right. Then we're gonna share the screen. All right. When we get a chance, we're gonna share the screen. Okay. We're gonna get it up here. The brother whose question is, how do we say plead in Hebrew? Okay. Okay. It says I was gonna bring on the screen. Right. Okay. All right. There we go. Let's see. So we got one right there. Sa Rayab 1. All right. Sa Rayab 1. And the root word is supposed to be begin with the Ra. That sa at the beginning, right? Could mean you. I would take both of them. Okay, the word please. All right. Oh, you talking about all the definitions. Meaning pleading with someone. Okay, good. All right. Let's see beginning one time. Okay. It's supposed to be written in the verse 3 times. All right. Go down. There it is again. Right. Ya, Raya. All right. I think it's going to be down again, down there. Right. Then please, Ya, Ra. Right. Good. Now this right here is very insightful for me because now we have a word. Remember now, right? I said every Hebrew word is 2 or 3 characters. And if there's any more, there's either a tense in the middle, a tense to the front, and a tense to the back. Now, what I want to do is I want to write down all of those 3 words on the board, right? So you're able to narrow down how to get the root word. The root word is how you're going to be able to more easily digest things. You want to find things in a form where you can digest it. Anything that's complex, it might be too difficult for you to digest. You see, you learn it, and then you're gonna forget it because you didn't digest it. Shabbatak, you wanna say something? Please, go ahead. How do you say only the bathroom in Hebrew? You wanna say awa, sha, sa, yad. Good. Come. Uh-huh. Okay. I'm gonna leave the drink at the bottom of the board. This could be anything. I want a drink. I want bread. I want food. Right. I want lakam. Right. I want a book. I want sapar. Right. I want a house. I want bayat. You know what I mean? Whatever. Right. Okay. So let me get back to the Hebrew on time. Okay. So the first one is put them all on the screen. Right there. There we go. Right. The first one is star, Rayab 1. Right. So we got star. We got star. Star. Oh gosh. Hold on. Ra, Ra, Ya, one. Right? That's number one. And the second one says, Ya, 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 Ra, Ya. Ya, Ra, Ya. Number two. It was strange, right? Like, what the hell is going on the board? This makes no sense. That feeling you have when you look at this and this looks too complicated to you, that's what we're trying to get rid of. Right? Don't leave. Don't run away, right? I'm gonna give you the key to know how to digest this, right? What's the last one? Yara, right? 3. Ya, Ra. Right? Yara. And these all mean plead. We're looking for the word plead. Note I said looking for the word plead. Because you're gonna see this right in Hebrew. Right in Hebrew, right? Ra, Ra, Ya. 1. Right? Ra, Ra, Ya, 1. Let me siphon it off right quick. Siphon it off, siphon it off. Okay? Hope I didn't write it too small for you. If you have a hard time seeing this, let me know. I'll write it bigger above it. Right? I need your communication. Get feedback, right? Let's be alive. Let's be lively. All right? Kaya is lively. Right? Right? If I say be lively, how would I say be lively? I'll say Kaya. Be lively, right? Get, put some blood in their fingers and type something, all right? Get them fingers working. Right? Ya, Ra, Ya. Right? Ya, Ra, Ya. And now down here we got Ya, Ra. Ya, Ra. Good. Ya, Ra, Ya. And then we got Sa, Ra, Ya, one. Sa, Ra, Ya, one. Good. Now, breaking it down. Here's the Hebrew letters, right? The Hebrew words, right? And their letters, right? You have this one right here, got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Hebrew letters in there, right? To know what a word means, you need to identify, you need to be able to see or know, skinny out, choose out the 2 or 3 letter Hebrew word. That is the word. Okay? Over here we got 4, over here we got 3. Right? You check for this. You check to see if there is a preposition at the front and if there's a possessive on the back. Okay? So now we have this one here. This one is sticking out. Out of all of these, this one has a one. This one right here is compounded to the word. What do I mean? I'm going to isolate this one right here. I'm going to isolate this one right here. Right? This one right here means noun. Noun. And for you can't see the green right? Let me put it in something else. Right? This one right here. Can you see the red okay?
Yeah, the red can be seen.
Okay, good. Right? This one right here means noun. Noun. Can you see the noun? Can you see what I wrote noun? Okay. What is a noun? A noun is a person, place, or thing. All right. So in this case, we're talking about a name, no, a place, no, but we are talking about a thing. Right? You're looking at this thing and you're calling it a conversation. Right? This one, into other languages, it became what we now call the I-O-N. I-O-N. Right? See, T-I-O-N, F-I-O-N. This one, through the course of languages, this one became ion. All right? Ion. Right? In specific, it really became the O and the N. That O is the wa, and that N is the na. All right? Remember, we're talking about Hebrew. We're talking about the father language. Okay? So if I say a television, tele means communicate. Busy or visio means your visual, right? And the ON means we're not talking about communicating. We're not talking about seeing, but we're talking about a thing. Tele is for. Tele, busy, on. Television. You see what I'm saying? Or you could have a computation. Computing is figuring out, but the computate and then the shun is recalling a thing. So I put on the board. I put x squared plus y cubed equals t to the power of 7. And you say he computed something, and I say yes. This is my computation. I labeled the thing. All right. And by the way, if I could have said, Israelites are not dumb. The brothers in UPK are very highly educated and sophisticated. All the brothers you see us on the street. You see we're black, but we got braids, and society is taught to not respect brothers. Black people are the smartest people on planet, right? The Negro, the Latino, and the Native Indian man, right, and woman are the smartest people on the planet. And it's a fact, right? They are the people of inventions. There were all these inventions you see around that people love technology. You could not have that without Negroes, Latinos, and Natives in slavery in America. After the Negroes, Latinos, and Natives are in slavery in America, there you have the car and the plane and the train. But before that, all these things did not exist. All right. Okay. Good. Now, we've been narrowed down to Saraya. On all of these other ones, let me just take out this right. I'm gonna isolate this too. All right. The one. Okay. Now on all the other ones, we have a tha right up here, we have a ya right up here, and ya ra, right? None of these other ones have a tha at the beginning of it. Right? So here's the difference. Shuffle that quickly. Say it again. Go get one. All right. If you get more than one, you're gonna do some push-ups. All right. Likewise, in the Hebrew, all of these, which in the King James Version in the English mean plead, all of these other ones do not have a tha. Right? So we have a clue of how to break it down, how to single out the things that are compounding on the words, right? Tha. As a preposition. The rule is identify prepositions. Identify this ambulance outside, right? That's ambulance outside. We're in Harlem, guys. Right? People are dying, people get shot, and people get sick everywhere, right? We're outside is hell. Right? Outside, what you try to say outside of these doors is weeping and gnashing of teeth. Okay, good. Tha, right, as a preposition can mean you. It could mean future tense, but in this case, it probably means you. Let me read the English again one more time at the top.
6 and 31.
Yeah. You don't got a King James version. Yeah, I mean. Right? So we got the tha, and in place of the tha, before the raya. Right? In the other ones, we have a ya. Raya. Right? This one down here, we have the same thing. Ya down here, ya ra, right? So now, is Tha a preposition? You would say yes. Is Ya a preposition? You would say yes. On the third one, is Ya also a preposition? From this one, you can say yes. Good. Right? So we've identified prepositions. What does Ya mean as a preposition? Put it in the chat. Let's get the English version. I see you, DK. I see you.
Judges chapter 6, verse 31.
Uh-huh.
And Joash said unto all that stood against him, will ye plead for Baal?
Say it again.
Will ye plead for Baal?
Good. Bring up the Hebrew. Right? He said, will you plead for Baal? All right, don't move it. It's okay. That's on the part right here when it says, I want all the three rayat to be in the same page. Yeah, perfect, right there. Good. Right? And we just start from where it says ha afam. It's okay, but if I can't do it like that, right? You can just highlight the whole from there to Baal, and whatever it gets, it just gets. Yeah, right there. Good. That's good. Don't worry, perfect. Bring it down from Baal. Go to the top right corner there, and then bring it down to the diagonally down. Let me see this. Oh, what else? We click that. Go forward. That's good. That's going around it so people can see, around whatever you're talking about. So here we go. It says ha atham, ha rayabwan, la ba'al. Okay. The ha means the. Now we don't talk like that. We don't say the y'all. The atham, the ha atham means the y'all. Atha is you. Atham is y'all plural. To say you all. Right? You plural. Right? Then it says tha rayab one. That tha again is the you. Okay? No, slack. No, this no. The you will ye plead. So the tha here, right, is going to be the future tense. All right? He's asking them what you want to do or what you're going to do. And these are men who stand up against him. Would you plead for Baal? Right? So in this case, the thought is in future tense. So this thought would be like saying you will, but in this case, it's tricky with the two languages, right? But this is like saying that you're going to. All right? Y'all going to plead to Baal. All right? So I'm going to put. Would it make sense if I put going to? Going to, right? Going to, right? Okay. Or y'all will plead to. No, it doesn't make sense like that. All right. So I'm gonna put going to. I'm putting parentheses. Going to. Now the reason why I kind of hesitate to put going to is because in English, going is a thing, right? If I'm going to do something, right? Or if you say you go, where are you going? Means you're moving, you're walking, right? But then you have the other tense, right? In English, where if I say, "Yo, are you gonna do that? Are you going to pick up that cup?" It doesn't require you to actually go anywhere, right? But if I say, if you ask me to translate going, I have to translate go, and go means to walk. If I tell you go, that means you should walk somewhere. You know what I mean? That means you're gonna begin something. You're gonna start. You know what I mean? But in this compounded English, right? There's a tense that we recognize that it could be a little tricky, right? But the idea is that he's going to do something. He's going to plead. Or he's asking them, are you guys going to plead for this other man's God? Okay, good. So we got tha as going to. Right? Tha can mean you. A lot of times you see tha can be you, and it also can mean she. Right? It also can mean she. But in this context, it does not mean any one of these. It does not mean any one of these. We're talking about this right here. Right? Going to. All right? Can you see what I'm writing on the board? Over here, look at the black one to me. Okay, I'm gonna use the black one.
You can erase it with the paper. Will go away.
Okay. You think there's something wrong with the eraser? And the eraser probably too brittle or something?
I think the way the marker is, it means something wet.
Okay. Right. So let me put going to. Right? But this can also mean you or she. Right? It can mean you or she. But what we're saying is this one does not mean you by context, and this one does not mean she by context. Okay? This one means going to by context. Okay? What you're going to do to mean future tense. Right? We're talking about something you're going to do in the future. Okay? Good. Now, Yah as a preposition. Likewise again. As a preposition, it could mean he or it. So what I want to do is I want to look at the context and see whether it means he or it. Can you see the he or it on the board? It's far away. Okay. Okay, big up Sabaya. Right? Sabaya means rounded. Sabab means round, right? Sab or sabab means round. Right? Sabaya means rounded. Why? Because the ya in the middle of a word, the ya in the middle of a word again in a tense. Again in a tense. All right? And this is our way of saying past tense ed. Past tense ed. All right? Good. So what I do now is I think of this. We're not using that. We're not using this, or we're not using that. All right? Am I making it too hard to see? Let's put circles around. All right? Let me isolate them. Right? We got the green isolating here. I'm going to green to isolate this one here. All right? Taking that out. We're taking out this star right here. Right? The star right here. Right? Likewise, we got the yard. I'm going to take out the yard right here. Right? Take out the yard right here. Likewise, I take out the yard down here. Okay? Good. Right? That's this right here. Oh, I put a red line here. I'll put a green line here instead. So we can keep flowing at the green. Meaning we're highlighting what is added on to the root word, right? What is added on to the root word. Okay? Good. What we're going to pull up again one time after that? Stop. So, yeah, we're going to get something. Or no?
English, KJV. Think it went over.
Yeah. Read the English one more time again.
Okay, the book of Judges, chapter 6, verse 31. And Joash said unto all that stood against him, will ye plead for Baal? Will ye save him? He that will plead for him, let him be put to death. Whilst it is yet morning. If he be a God, let him plead for himself, because one hath cast down his altar.
Yeah, that's all. Well, what the brother said, Joash, Yawash in the Hebrew, right? Yawash is saying here is, you know, a man cast down the altar of Baal. If Baal is a real God, you know what I mean? Baal is supposed to defend that. Because when the children of Israel, who is God's chosen people, when you heard that Egypt dies, Egypt, who was bountiful by the Nile River, become a desert, a yellow desert when it used to be green. You know what I mean? Assyria, who used to be flourishing and have the gardens of what is it? The hanging gardens of some gardens, right? Hanging gardens of the hanging gardens of Babylon. Those places become deserts and empty stones with nobody to live in it. When you disrespect Israel, the Israelites, because God cares about us. Now for the statue of Baal and your temple and all that, you know what I mean? Where is your God to speak for that, right? Good. So what I want to do is I want to compare that to the Hebrew, right? We need peace first. So that's another one. Go back to the Hebrew we have to talk about, Sean. All right. So the second one, right? Asa, you save it. If you save it. So in the English it says, will you save it? Right? But in Hebrew it says, am is if. Right? That's a good one too. I want to write it in the corner over here. Right? You write right? It's really and ma. Right? I should write AHM. Right? But let's keep it nice and simple, right? Just say Right? Is if. Right? That's not something you ask. You're asking someone this thing. Right? If you, right, will save. Right? Awat is to add on the last verb. The last verb was save. So awat is like saying bullet points, and it was to say him. Right? Asam Sawa Shiai. One. Would you save it? That one again is turned into a pig. Alright? Right? Meaning no different than saying salvation or saying deliverance. Alright? Good. And it goes to say him who? Ashar is who? Ya Raya. Ya Raya Lawa, right? Ya say he. Right? The Raya can say plead. And then Lawa is say to him. That's another good one too. Lawa. La, wa. La is to, and wa is him. Alright? So you got laka to you, laya to me, laha to her, lawa to him. Right? Right? Me, you, him, her. Lawa, to me. Laya to you. Laka to you. Laka. Right? To him, lawa, to her. Laha. Laha, lawa, laya, laka. Lawa, laha. Laya, laka. Laya, laka. Laya, laka. Laya, laka. Lawa, laha. Lawa, laha. Shabbat. No thanks. No thanks. Yeah, I don't. You want to get one? Get one. Yatzah.
Laya to me,
Laya.
Laka to you,
Laka. Yeah.
Tawa to her.
Not Tawa. Lawa. La.
Lawa.
No. Laha. Wa is him.
Laha.
Laha. Her. Yeah. Ha and her, same thing. Ha. Laha. To her. Because in New York, they say that too. In the ghetto, they say ha. It's ha bad. You know what I mean? Yeah. Laha. Right? So Laya. Laka. La wa. La ha. You know what I mean? If you want to think of it, if you need a cue reminder, lawaya, right? Lawaya, man, right? Lawa means joined in its own word, lawa. But la is two, and wa is him. Lawa, so him. Right? I want to say, here's a drink. Remember, I started the class. Give me a drink. Right? Give is nathan. I'll say give to him. I'll say nathan lawa. Give to her. Nathan laha. Right? Give to me. Nathan laya. Or give to you. Nathan laka. Right? I want to put those on the board too. Right? I'm gonna put those in a section across the board. I want to put the this is if I put the indicators, the short indicators, so I don't use up too much space and too much time writing. Right? I'll put the possessives on top over here, right? So we're gonna have right. Yeah, I'm gonna put the dash to say this is at the end. Right? Is me. Right? And then ha is you. Right? Wa is him. Right? And ha is her. Okay? Good. What if I can put these on top of each other, right? Good. Right, guys. Me or mine is really mine. Right? Put mine. So you understand. You understand. Right? So it might make you grow better if you do it like that. Mine. And then ka. Ka is you. Alright? Good. All right, so this is our indication mark of possessives. Possessives right here. Right? Good. Right? So la ya to me. La ka to you. La wa to him. La ha to her. Okay? And then of course, right? And then of course we got la. We got la on the board already, right? La right here. La is right here. La is two. Wa him, right? All right, still put it on the board up here, right? La. La is two. Right? La equals two, right? Hopefully it's not too small. Can you see what I'm writing for this? Put it on big screen on the the bottom right corner. Slide bottom right corner. Put the mouse in the right there. Look. Slide. Right. All right. All right, should be a little. Okay, all right, good. Okay, good, right? End of the sidebar. Back to the raya. Right? We've taken out the tha, which means going to, the ya, which means the past tense. We've taken out the ya in the front over here, which means he or it. Right? And the ya over here, which means past tense. The ya over here, which means he or it. And this one that I have is middle tense. Right? So then I'm left, so I'll take out the ya in the middle, just like I did over here. And then we are left with 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. We're left with just Rob. Rob's like that. We're left with Rob. We're left with Rob. Right? Now what I want to do is, I want to know what this Rob is. This Rob that is written like this. Rob. This is not Rob like Rob and Peter to pay for. It's not that. Right? It's Rob. Right? Rob. Right? Rob. Rob, if I'm not mistaken, should mean many. Should be many, like mucho, much. Right? What I want to do is shout it out. I'm gonna help you. Huh? Very good. Animals are nouns. Very good. So you named those animals. Good. All right, all right. Good. Okay. What I want to do now is I want to go to my concordance, my Strong's concordance, and I want to go to Rob. Right? They got the Greek definitions in the back after the Hebrew, just in case anybody is curious. Right? The Greek dictionary of the. It doesn't do it close up no more. I gotta go far. Gotta go out far and come back in. All right, gotta go far and come back in. Right? The Greek dictionary of the New Testament, they have that right after the Hebrew. So when I see that, I know I gotta go forward a little bit. Don't want to keep going back. I want to go. Oh yeah, go back. Going back this way, right? Good. So I want to get Rob. We have a Sha, Quara, Shatha, Quara, Shatha. So I want to go to I want Ra. Okay. And then I just touched the camera and I just got scared to death. Right? I'm gonna lose my whole purpose of teaching. Gotta teach the people out there. Right? There we go. Here's Rob. Right? See if I can show you guys the book, page, finger moves. Like here. This is what I do when I'm reading for someone. When I'm reading for a man over me, for my trooper coming up, or even now, when I'll read for a man under me. That's all love. We're in the same unit, we're in the same team. I'll keep my finger right where I was reading, or where I intend to read, so I don't lose it. So I can't see the page. I'm standing behind the book, and I'm pointing to you. 7227, which is the word right here, Rob, which is the root word for plead. Right? So to answer Mr. DK his question. All right? And that word means abundant. Abundant meaning much. So abundant is a big English word, but don't think of it like that. Don't be like, oh, every time I see Rob, I gotta say abundant. Just say a lot of. Just say many. Right? Abundant just means many. It's a fancy word to say many. Many in quantity. Why? Because when you're pleading with someone, you're bringing up a quantity of points. You're bringing up abundant points to try to convince this person. You see what I'm saying? That's what you're doing. You are talking to him exceedingly. You see what I'm saying? You're trying to give him enough points. You're trying to increase your points in the conversation and talk to him long enough to plead to him. They would say that, arguments. Yeah, your points in your argument. Yeah, come on, the water. You're arguing long enough to hope that he will quit with his points, because he's going to run out of points. But you're going to have a more quantity of points and a greater quality of points than his to try to win the conversation. You know what I mean? You're going to multiply your points in pleading to him. You see what I'm saying? You know? All right? You're looking for points that are more mightier than his and more than his. Right? You have plenty of, right? You get the idea, right? You get the idea. Right? So, Rob, the idea behind pleading to someone, and to say plead is to say, I pled with him, I was pleading with him. Right? To say past tense. Right? But the word is based off of the word Rob, which is many. Let's say many. All right? That is, he is cold at the sweat. Come on, man. You got the sweat off, you cheated, man. Gone, right? So Rob means many. Many.
It feels like a sweater to what you got on.
Yeah, but it's not a sweater. You know what I mean? But this is like, oh, by the way, this is Yattazar shirts. You know what I mean? Yattazar apparel. You know what I mean? This is a shirt. You see what's on here. We got Rob polygamy. Increase the polygamy out here. Right? Rob, much means Rob. Not the right. How about much here? Either. Many, much. Same English word, means same thing. You bring in much points. Much polygamy. For those who don't know, right? This was to counteract a lie from Satan that came out of the Israelite. No, what do they call themselves?
The vagabond Jews.
So the vagabond was the purple one, the IUIC. The leader said, the leader who is Nathaniel, right? A very suspicious fellow, very suspect. He might have been in Diddy's party.
Very Diddy.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Very Diddy.
He's very Diddy. She's like someone's auntie. You see what I'm saying? He said he left the ISUPK because he saw much polygamy. So you have to go, you know what I mean? Man of the Lord, to fight against evil, right? And people that want to water down the doctrine of the Most High, right? He made a comeback and took that phrase and put glory on it. Because that's what we were at our glory, where we had much polygamy. I'm talking about much polygamy like Solomon, much polygamy like David. Come on now. Abraham, Isaac, who was more polygamous than Jacob, whose name became Israel? We call ourselves Israelites. The man called Israel has 4 wives. Right? The man called Israel. You say Israel united in Christ. Well, Israel has 4 wives. Right. Israel was the name of a man who had much polygamy in his house. You know, I'm talking about baby mothers arguing and fighting over kids. Naming the kids' name Judah, Levi, and Simeon. Those names were made to attack the other baby mother, Slovakia. You know what I mean? It was thank the Lord, Judah, Yehuda. Thank the Lord that I got one more baby than her. And then Levi was, now my husband will be joined to me, Lawaya, to say he's going to be joined to me because I got this kid and she don't. That's what it was, right? She wanted the Lord to hear her, right? The Lord heard that I was afflicted. Okay, because of course, Samaya's mother, right? Who was that? Simeon's mother, right? Leah, right? She was not loved as much as Rachel, right? So she prayed for kids so she could get more love from Jacob. She wanted more attention from Jacob. Who else? Zabalawan. Zabala means live as well, right? Zabalawan. Now she's saying that now her husband will live with her. Zabalawan. We can keep going. You know, Gad, right? He's a troop, and he's a troop now. He's a troop that shall overcome the truth. You see what I'm saying? But at that time, it was like, here's one more for the win. Here's another soldier in my battle. That's how Leah was thinking when she named these kids. All right? Okay. Good.
I think Gad was Zilpah.
Gad was Zilpah? Khan. And Zilpah was who?
That was Leah's one of Jacob's ribs.
Yeah, but the Zilpah and Bilhah, again, in the war between the baby mothers. One baby mother said, Oh, you like women, huh? No problem. Here's another woman for you. Much polygamy. The ribs back then, the woman back then. These women ain't like IUIC women.
Right.
You know what I mean? Leah is not like IUIC women. Leah was there for the win, to bring forth Leah had the most kids of the children of Israel, right? She had 6. She had half, she birthed half the nation. You see what I'm saying? Leah, she was the winner. You see what I'm saying? Got the winning tribe. Come on. The firstborn, Reuben, right? The winning tribe in the end because of Christ, right? She birthed forth the tribe that bring forth the king, Judah. You see what I'm saying? That's that. You know what I mean? So you talking about Israel, you talking about Israel, this Israel, that. Israel was a man of polygamy. That's who he was. You know what I mean? In many ways. Leah, the winner, right, said, oh yeah, I believe in polygamy too. To show him more love, she's gonna give him more polygamy. She said, oh, you had another wife. What did Rachel have to do? Rachel said, I ain't giving you another wife. That's crazy. I want you to be the only one with me. They said, oh, now I'm losing. You know what? Here's another wife too, Jacob. She has to come to more polygamy, because more polygamy is how you win, sisters. How you win. And IUIC women, I know you're not like that. That's why the IUIC women are the losers compared to the Isupk women who are the winners. You gotta know what type. You gotta know what people out there gotta know how to pick better teams. you gotta pick better teams, right? Look for the team with polygamy. That's who the Lord is with. The Lord is with polygamy. From Abraham, Isaac to Jacob, the Lord was with polygamy, right? From David to Solomon, the Lord was with polygamy, all right? And for the infidels out there, say, oh, but the scripture says, thou shalt not multiply wives. Thou shalt not multiply gold and silver. So are you saying that you're not allowed, you don't believe that you should get more money? You know, that's what Captain Zark brought up last night. People say, oh, you can't have more wives. Then does that mean that you are not allowed to have an increase in pay from your business, an increase in pay from your slavery? Okay? Okay, all right. Okay, do we have enough Hebrew words, or is there anything else we need to do? Because I think we're good here, right? DK said Thwan.
If you
could, Thwan. Good.
Cover, if you could, I want to cover the way we will say like Israelite, right? Hamite. I don't believe those words exist actually in the Bible. The way we say Hamite, Israelite. But what is the Hebrew? I think you went over it before. It was the Ya or the Anya.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Can you demonstrate that real quick? Where it exists in the Hebrew.
Okay, so
instances where we could find it in the actual Bible.
Oh, see, you go to anywhere where it says you can go to tribes too. Tribes, nations. You can look up anywhere where it says, I'm gonna find ants right now. Let's go to Psalm 83. Right? So if we can show it on the prayer. Okay. And the concept that yes, as I was talking about too, right? This is also prevalent in countries today, right? So we talked about how the one, right, became the ION today, or the ON inverse today, right? The one became an O. It's like in the Yiddish, when they want to say shalom, to say O in Yiddish, you have to turn the Y to an O, right? And then add a O, because to say the word peace doesn't exist with a Y in the Hebrew, right? Unless you are piecing someone. That's different from this, all right? That would be more like in the middle tense to say piecing or pieced. Shalawam, shalayam, right? Shalawam to say piecing, or shalayam to say pieced, meaning you created peace already. But no, but what they're saying is in how, and this, let me get the book we're talking about, right? just on that concept right quick, right? Because this might help you understand, make us all understand a little better, right? Same book from Yale University that we bring out every week, right? For anyone who's wondering what book this is a book from Yale, right? The book we have from Yale University. Right, it's from Yale University. This book right here, Biblical Hebrew Textbook, Text and Workbook, right? We go to page 3. Right? On page 3, they give us a key of how things are translated today. Okay? Right? That wa, this is a wa, right? This is a wa, right? We got this Hebrew sheet right here. Right? We got this Hebrew sheet right here, right? Where wa is written like this in our Hebrew, but the wa is written like this. The wa is written like this in the modern Hebrew. Right? In the modern Hebrew. This is the modern Hebrew right here, right? The wa is written like this in the modern Hebrew today. So in this book, you're going to see the modern Hebrew, and that modern Hebrew, the wa, right, has an O sound. So you see someone saying peace, but they're writing shalom with an O. They had to add this. They had to add this. Okay, good. Right. Oh, also, the yah that Yatazar was talking about, right? Right. If you see at the end of a country, and it says Germania or Germany, right? That's this right here, right? That's this I right here. They put an IA, right, to say Yah, because this sound was Yah. But they say Germany today. But one time it was Germania, or how do you say in French? Alemania. Even though they spell it with a GNE or GNA, Alemania, right? But that sound, language is by the sound.
Alman.
Huh?
Alman.
Almania, but I know in the French, I was taught it's Alemania.
You know what I mean? You know how in English, like some sounds are silent?
Yeah.
So the way they pronounce it, like Alman.
Okay.
So it sounds
how do you say it in Spanish? All right, that's cool. But it's Spanish is the same. So we'll say España.
Right.
Right? They'll say España, even though it's not spelled with a YA. But that sound is still there. That ya in there is to say Spain, ya. Espan, and then ya, España. Right? Or you have Britannia. Or you have Ruskia. Ruski, Russia. Romania, right? You know, Arabia, Nigeria. You see what I'm saying? That same kind of ya at the end of each word is say this country of this, country of German, country of Britain, Britannia, right? What do you call France again one time? Go was the Japhite name that the white man took on, right? But then they call it Frank means free, and they call it Frankia, but they don't call them. They don't call themselves Frankia now. What do they call themselves now? They say French. How you say France? Francais. Okay, that was not it. Right? But it was called the country of the Franks. They call them the Franks to say free men, right? And even when you have an Englishman named Frank, right? It's from that same language core, that same language, because in England they never spoke English up until the French came there 1066 at the Battle of Normandy. 1066. Before that, they didn't speak English. They spoke some other crap. With mixing with the Latin, and they spoke. When they spoke, free was Frank. So I could say today, if I could be Frank, that Frank is free, and they call that country Frankia. And then over time, what's going on with the languages, that Frank became Francais. So from Frank to France to Francais. Well, France is French. How do you say the country France? France? Okay, right? But we get the idea. At the end of the word is Yah. So Israelite, Yasharal Yah. Right? Where's this thing right here? All right. We got the nations down there. Psalms 83. Right. Where does it start talking about the nations? There we go. From verse 6. The tabernacles of Edom, Ishmaelites, Moab, and Hagarenes. Right. Let's see if we got a clue here. That's from verse 6, right? 6. I'm looking for 6. Where's 6? That's 5 and 6. Right? Ahalia. Ahalia is my tents, or the tents, rather. Right? The tabernacles. And that Yah is not to say mine. That Yah is to say these nations, these tabernacles, or these government houses. All right? I'm not getting in here. It's not in here. I'm Yeshavia, Tazawar, Gamashawa, Zarawai. This is not a good example. Okay, so Moab, Hagarine. This is not giving me the ites and the ites and the ites and the ites. That's my mistake.
If I may, sir.
Yeah.
That's a new concept, though. The ite.
Yeah, it is.
It's a new concept. It's not biblical because you don't find those words in the Bible.
Right. But there's you have words like Chemite, right? You have words like Chemite, right? But then they'll say like Hamia. Oh, there is. Oh, where can I find the Yah in the book? We looked over this one time. I put this in my notes because it was a little bit hard to find.
I remember you did a class a while back. You went over the Yah, but you mentioned it just like you did today. Like you said, the point you were making is that when you see, like the example you just used, Romania, Australia, when you see that concept comes from the Hebrew.
Yeah.
You was breaking it down like this. You say it comes from the Yah in the Hebrew.
Right. Let me see if this is if they're gonna show it to me in Genesis, right? Genesis. Yeah, it's in Genesis. I don't know if you got a minute yet, if I can get Genesis 10, so we can look over them, right? Here's all the ites, and how could I forget Genesis? The Hivites and the Archites and the Sinites and the Jebusites. Chapter 10. A lot of these don't have ites until we get down to verse 16. So you're gonna share from 16. I will just go to the chapter, go to like 3 verses. All right, Genesis 10 and 16. So go to the saint. There we go. We want it in the Hebrew. Oh, you want to look at the verse? Look at the verse. So you can see what you're doing, Brother Shaw.
I'm looking for the.
No, but still show them in English. Show them in English. Right? Okay. Go back to it. Yeah. Got it. And then let's scroll down to 16. Right? So there we are, 16. Right? And it says Jebusi. Oh, this is not King David.
This is the Yiddish.
Right. So in the Yiddish, if you see on verse 16 and verse 17, they got the eyes on at the end of every word, right? Those eyes is to say "ite." There we go. Here we go. King James version now, right? And that "I" that we read before was to say Yah this, Yah that, Jebus Yah, Amor Yah, right? His Yah, right? You know that was the Yiddish, right? But over here on the English, King James Version, Jebusite, Amorite, Girgashite, Hivite, Arkite. Good. Let's go to the Hebrew 1 second. Right? Okay. Looking for 16. Right? Then we pass it. Right there. Okay, there we go. Right? Good. There we go. Right? So scroll down, put it down a little bit. Right? Good. So we got Ha Yabawah Ya. That Ya is the ite. All right? Wa'ath Amar Ya. That's Amorite. Amar Ha Amar Ya. Ha is the. Amaria is Amorite. Good. Wa'af. Right? What the af is applying the last mission verb, wherever the hell that was. A couple of verses up. The af. Right? Then we got ha. We got ha. Gargashya. Gargashya. That's the Gargashanks. Gargash. Now that leads into how the name was built, because Gar is stranger. I don't know what Gash is. You know what I mean? That was the gash. Oh my God, not the gash. The gash was the old street English way to say the gal out the road. Gash. You know what I mean? But Gargashya. That right? The ya is the act. Scroll down to the next verse, 17. All right, then we got the Hivites. Right? How ya. This sounds very native Indian talking like this. How ya. How ya. Hivite. Who's next? I rock ya. And the ya is the act. Right? We get the idea, right? Sayanya. Sinite. Sayanya. Then we got who? We got the Arvadite. Arawadia. Remember the brother in DC, Arawadia, right? Arawadia. The Arvadite. Then we got the Kalamaria, the Zamarite. Then we got the Hamathya, the Hamathite. Right? We get it, right? We understand.
Most sound great. That was the perfect verse, sir.
Okay.
I was looking for watch. Perfect verse.
Hey, most and Christ, you know what I mean? Think repetition and practice, you know what I mean? So we don't forget it, you know what I mean? And with that, I pass the class, the prison officer of 5,000.
Clap it up for that. Most High Christ. Most High Christ. Shalom Israel. We're going to give one courtesy salute. Meta visual Imajam, which means to stand. Imajam Shabbat. Imajam Barak. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabrak Kadam. Yajam Matah. So to the sister Imajam. Meta visual, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Meta visual Imajam Shabbat. Imajam Barak. Yahweh Shabbat Anatah Hashem Yahweh Shabbat. Yajam Matah. Dismiss. Son of Christ.